Good morning and welcome to Chargers Talk 4630. I'm your man, Stacey Mallory, and it's good to be back. It's good to see you guys again, and thank you for your support. I did a YouTube short maybe a week ago when there was a few people who sent me some nice messages, a nice response. People were saying they would like for me to continue the podcast. It was fun. They missed it, and they hope that I reconsider. So I decided to run it again. And I'm going to take about 10 to 15 minutes and give a recap from my perspective about last night's game. And if I can ask you at this time, follow and subscribe to continue to receive this content. Now, before I get started, I want to make it clear that I don't have any official contacts or inside sources within the National Football League. Everything I share here is based solely on my own research, my own observations, and my love for the Los Angeles Chargers. These are my personal opinions and my perspectives and nothing more. With that being said, let's have a great podcast. So here we go. The Los Angeles Chargers went into Las Vegas last night. They knocked off their second straight divisional opponent, this time defeating the Las Vegas Raiders by the score of 20-9. It's only week 2, so I don't want to jump ahead of myself. However, if the Chargers keep ascending and we could possibly see a changing of the guard in the AFC West as it stands now. Now, obviously, we still have 15 more games left to prove that. But as we look at the Chargers and what they've done in the first 2 weeks, it's nothing short of remarkable. And I have watched both of these games now, and I've been talking a lot about this different look that Justin Herbert has, right? He just looks different, focused on a way that I haven't seen, like in all business approach. And the thing is, this offense has evolved where it is just the Justin Herbert show. Just look at last year, right? It was more of a conservative look and a lot of running the football. I kind of sense that Harbaugh and Roman is just saying, we trust you, Justin Herbert. We're going to expect you to make plays. We're going to keep the ball in your hands, and we expect you to be the reason we win games. And we've seen it 2 weeks in a row from the Chargers. Greg Roman and Jim Harbaugh is changing this offense, and it's evolving just the way Justin Herbert is executing it like he have these past 2 weeks. And it's kind of what we expected from Justin Herbert since he's been in the league, right? It's a total shift in philosophy from what Greg Roman and Jim Harbaugh has lived by. It's as if they're saying, why are we letting this guy just hand the ball off? Like, this guy needs to have the ball in his hands. They understand Justin needs to make decisions, and he needs to spread the ball around the field, and they've given him that. And I also think they have the proper weapons now, especially this year, to go out and do absolutely just that. And he's looked phenomenal doing it. He looks like the Justin Herbert of old, right? The quarterback that has the most passing yards in the first 5 seasons in the NFL. I think it's really important to talk about the weapons at his disposal, because last year was kind of like, we're going to run the ball consistently at a high rate every game to take pressure off Justin Herbert. Now, after shifting philosophies, he's throwing the football more this year. There's Ladd McConkey, and Keenan Allen is added to the mix again. That's made a huge difference 2 weeks in a row. Where if you're going to get this kind of performance out of Quentin Johnston, who's balling, we're talking about the offense operating at a totally different level. They played like a team that wants to push for a championship and to maximize the arm talent of Justin Herbert by giving him multiple ways that he can beat you through the air. And for Keenan Allen, who's gotten in the end zone 2 weeks in a row and getting 2 big touchdowns, is very huge. And also, give it up for the target from TCU, Quentin Johnston. We've been waiting for this young man to finally give us the kind of playmaking ability we saw from him at TCU, right? He came on last year and he had 8 touchdowns. But now this year, they found a way to unlock him. And I believe he's going to be a cheat code. I mean, at 6'5", he is a tall, fast receiver. You unlock him, and then you put the speedy slot guy, Ladd McConkey, who gives you those shades of better versions of Julian Edelman and Wes Welker types of capability in the slot. And then you put 2 running backs in the backfield. You got 2 big physical backs in Najee Harris and Omarion Hampton. This is a recipe for success and why the Chargers are having the kind of start to this season. And especially when you think of what the Kansas City Chiefs are right now. And you have 2 division wins in your first 2 weeks. That's huge when we're talking about the slotting and posting for the end of the season. They have jump-started themselves and created some separation already in the first 2 games of the season. These are true division wins, and you're 2 games up on the Kansas City Chiefs. I heard some players talking to reporters last night saying it's no big deal, it's 1 game at a time and all that, but this is a big deal that you're 2-0 and both victories were in the division. And when you look in the division in the AFC West, where it has been dominated year in and year out by the Kansas City Chiefs, you've beaten them head to head and you're already 2 games ahead of them. It's a tremendous mental advantage, right? And usually these type of divisional games don't come to midseason to late in the year. And to get them right out of the gate and win both of them, I just can't say how big that is. You defeat Denver at home next week and you already got half your division games out the way. And if you can get an even bigger lead on that, it just helps so much more when you get to the end of the year. We're talking about tiebreakers and common opponents, right? The Raiders had a lot going for them coming into this game. They won their week 1 matchup against the Patriots. They had momentum on their side, and the Chargers made Geno Smith and that Raiders team look very pedestrian last night. And then, of course, you take down the Chiefs. It's only been AFC championship games or Super Bowls for Patrick Mahomes. He knows nothing else. But you already beat the head-to-head matchup and are 2 games up. That is a huge mental barrier as an organization to jump that hurdle. And Jesse Minter and this defense made Geno Smith look as if he started seeing ghosts from last night from the pressure they was putting on him. He got picked off 3 times, and that's not all of it. I mean, it's not just the turnovers that they forced, and it's not the 3 sacks either. He missed on some throws, and they did not allow anything the Raiders did easy, right? Geno Smith tried to take a shot down the field. It was not available, and that was a failure all night long for the Raiders. And then he ended up throwing some little things underneath, and it had little to no effect. The Raiders had no answer for this Chargers defense. This is a defense that looked terrific in this game. They kept everything in front of them, and that's something that might sound like a small thing, but when you're in the NFL and you have guys who could blow the tops off your coverage, it is a huge deal that they were in a position where they could literally dictate whatever they wanted, and the pressure came all night. And the pressure was suffocating with 3 sacks right on top of that. And then the 3 interceptions that he had, right? But I think the other thing to look at is they held Ashton Jeanty in check. They tried to get him going. He had a 13-yard run in this game, but he was held below 4 yards a carry, and I thought that was huge. And Brock Bowers, who we know wasn't 100%, but he was not a factor. He did not have his huge explosive plays that you've grown accustomed to seeing, right? He was 5 out of 8 for 38 yards. That's huge considering you know that this young man comes in, has caught the most balls in his first 20 games in the National Football League. And the fact that you were able to bottle him up was huge. I thought it was a masterful game plan by Harbaugh. I want to send well wishes for Khalil Mack and a speedy recovery. Shout out to Derwin James. He's still that dude. Dayan Henley is emerging as one of the top linebackers in football. Teair Tart, the bully, the slapper. There's a lot of nicknames I got that I could use for this guy, but I love him. And just what a great night it was, and a great 2 games to start the season. Charger fans, before I close out, I just want to say I miss you guys. You know who you are, have been reaching out to me during the off season. It asked me not to get rid of my YouTube page, you know, in case I change my mind and want to come back. And it's a great feeling to know that you offer something or you share something with someone that thought there was value in it, and you appreciated it. And to have people reach out to me and say, hey, you should do the pod. You should do the pod. That makes me feel good. That and you know, it's always good knowing that people appreciate you, you know, and so that have a lot to do with why I'm sitting right back in front of the TV and doing the podcast. You know, you guys wanted it, I missed it, so we made it happen. So last night, great game. I want to do another little toast. I did one last night. I'm tired as hell, really. I was up late. I had been traveling with the family. I had just recently got back from Aruba. You can see I still got a little tan. Beautiful place to visit. You guys should go if you haven't been. If you have been, you know what I'm talking about. And the Chargers, man, are on their way. You know, the defense, man, you know, we got to really appreciate Jesse Minter here, because Jesse Minter is going to be a head coach for somebody in the 2026 season. He's that good. You know, when you're that good, everybody come for your coordinators. And we had them last year. We had them this year. And our defense have been one of the best in the league since he's been here. And I really appreciate that. And I know a lot of guys were saying before last night's game, well, I'm worried. And I don't know. And I don't worry no more, man. You know why? Because this ain't the same Chargers team anymore. You can see it. Just pay attention. Just watch the games. You can see it. It's not the same team anymore. Justin Herbert look dialed in right now. He don't even look, this guy look all business right now. The offense that we have, the weapons that we have on offense, and Quentin Johnston, like y'all got to start giving Quentin Johnston some love. You got to put some respect on that man's name. He's our leading receiver right now in touchdowns and in yards, I believe. I may be wrong on that. I'm saying that off the top of my head, but I know he has more touchdowns than anybody else. And Quentin Johnston is doing his thing, and it should be respected. I know he got off to a rocky start, and everybody wanted to kick him out, but I'm glad they kept him. And Quentin is coming into his own. He don't have a lot of pressure. You got Ladd McConkey and Keenan Allen, and KLS haven't gotten involved yet. Trey Harris is starting to get sprinkled in. I just would like for them to run the ball just a little bit more. I know they're letting Justin Herbert eat right now, but you got a big back in Najee Harris and a big back in Mario Hampton. And it's not that they can't run the ball. I heard people this morning on the news network, sports network, saying they can't run the ball. They still can't run the ball. No, they just haven't. You know, the first couple of series, they came out and just threw the ball. They never even tried to run, not one time. So it's not that they're getting the attempts and they're getting stalled. They haven't been getting the attempts, but I can see this offense is evolving. And Greg Roman and Jim Harbaugh really have made a conscious decision that we're going to keep the ball in our best players' hands and let Justin do what Josh Allen does for Buffalo, what Lamar Jackson does for Baltimore, and what Burrow does for the Bengals. And I like the idea, but you still have to keep teams honest, and you have to run the ball a little bit more. And I'm sure as the season go on, they're going to work all that out. But I love where we at right now. Up 2 games in the division, possibly can beat the Denver Broncos next week at home, and then you're 3 games up in the division, then going to see the Giants. Listen, that's a great, great position the Chargers have put themselves in. So I want to thank you guys so much for all your support and reaching out to me, and share this, man. We back at it again. Share it so we can get likes and follows and subscribers and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't cost you anything to just subscribe to the show, and would like to get that going again. And I want to do a toast with you guys. As I pour this, I want to tell you, man, with all the uncertainty going on in the world, we in a crazy world. We love our sports and all that stuff, but we know what's going on around us, and it's a lot of uncertainty and a lot of chaos that's going on right now. And you got to make sure you get up out of bed every day and try to find a reason to put a smile on your face. And being 61 years old, you know, majority of the years that I have on earth is more than likely behind me. I don't know how much more in front of me. So I'm going to get up every day and live that day like it could be my last. I have so many people that I know, family and friends, that's leaving this earth far too soon for a lot of reasons, health, stress, all kind of things. And you can't control your exit out of here, but you do the things that you can so that you can have less stress in your life as possible. So cheers to the Chargers, guys. Embrace what's going on. This is not the same team. This is a different team. You know, last year, Jim Harbaugh, the storm is coming. That was last year. The storm is here. It is. I know what it looks like. The storm is here. Get your umbrellas out. You're going to need it because the storm is here, and the Chargers are bringing it. And as long as they can stay pretty much healthy with their core players, I like where we at. I like the position we in, and everything that we want is in front of us. And cheers to them. Cheers to you guys. And I'm going to drink this drink here as a celebration for the Chargers, for our team, for our defense, for our head coach, our defensive coordinator, our offense coordinator, for Justin Herbert, for Khalil Mack. Sending love and prayers to you, my man. Hope you good. And to you guys that always support Chargers Talk 4630. So I'm going to knock this right out. Cheers to you guys. Here goes. I needed that. Excuse me. All right, so let's get out of here. Well, that's all I have for today's recap. Ladies and gentlemen, I know it's only week 2, but the Chargers are in sole possession of the AFC West. They're up 2 games with 2 division wins and looking to make it 3 next week as they go back home to take on the Denver Broncos. I absolutely love it. You guys be good, be safe, be well,